In this session, you will learn how AI avatars are taking over customer attention and how you can outsmart them by using scroll-stopping creatives and smarter pricing. Our guest today is Chad Rubin, and before we go into his session, I would like to ask Augustus to introduce the sponsors of SellerFest Online.
Thank you, Lisette. So let me introduce the sponsors of this session. The first one is VAA Philippines, provides trained e-commerce virtual assistants for Amazon, Walmart, and other e-commerce sellers. VATAi is an international compliance for e-commerce sellers. They provide VAT compliance, EPR services, and much more. Ecomc, it's your global Amazon, Walmart, and TikTok growth expert. Exit.io, it's a platform for Amazon FBA buyers, sellers, and investors. MerchJar is your AI copilot for Amazon advertising. DataHawk is an enterprise-grade analytics for Amazon and Walmart sellers. And last but not least, Optimo AI by Sellerplex, which is your Amazon advertising analyst.
And now I'm excited to bring Chad to here as well. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, thank you for having me on today.
Good. We're super glad you're coming here because today's topic is very interesting around AI avatars, and you're going to give some recommendations how sellers can make sure their products stand out among anything else on the market. Chad, before we start with the session, could you first introduce yourself and give us a little bit of a background information? What are you currently doing in Amazon space?
Yeah, for sure. So currently I actually run Prophecy. Prophecy is an AI platform for Amazon private label brands to change price to make a whole lot more money. So we make actually brands millions in extra profit by winning the margin game without discounting. I've been in the Amazon space for about 20 years. I built and sold 3 companies, 2 to publicly traded companies and 1 to a private equity company. Stubana, the Prosper Show, the world's biggest Amazon conference, I co-founded, and an agency. So I still run an 8-figure Amazon brand today, where I'm in the trenches and I'm not in the sidelines. So this is all the stuff I'm going to be sharing today is not theory, right? I'm actually using it in real life. I've been in the trenches. I know the pain and I've lived it.
Very good. And one more thing I would like to emphasize to the viewers today before we start is that as it's a live session, then anytime you have any questions for Chad, then definitely post them to the chat, because once he finishes presenting, we're going to ask those questions from him. So it's your opportunity to get advice from such an experienced entrepreneur. Also, if you like this video and find it useful, don't forget to hit the like button under the video to show your support. If you're not yet a subscriber of Orange Klik YouTube channel, I would also recommend to subscribe, because then you're going to see similar webinars and videos in the future to learn what matters the most today to be ahead of your competition. And now, Chad, we would be ready to hear where you would like to start the presentation with.
For sure. So today's conversation is about how your brand is getting outsold by AI fake people. Now, I actually do all of our marketing and all of our sales at Prophecy, and AI video ads are absolutely killing it for me right now. So AI generated ads, they don't sleep, they don't stop, they don't need approval, right? And they're flooding the feed. And this is how many brands I know are getting outsold. And many don't even see it happening. So today I'm going to go through in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it and how you can start today to win your attention back. So what I wanted to do is first start off by sharing the #1 video that I've created with AI so far. And then I'm going to go through the actual playbook to make it happen.
All right, let's do it.
You're not paying for ads. You're paying for a grown man to babysit your budget.
You mean you move spend without knowing if it makes money?
You give me a budget. I move it around. That's my whole job. I'm your Amazon ad agency.
See, Prophecy doesn't optimize for impressions or clicks. We optimize for contribution margin.
I optimize by raising your bids. I scale by increasing your budget. Same dollars, shuffled like a deck of cards.
We build pricing and bidding systems that are accountable to profit, not feel-good metrics. We don't play guessing games here. We connect every bid to real data, price, demand, competition, COGS.
And when it doesn't work, I send you a report to distract you from the fact that your margin is on fire. Clicks, up, profit, who cares?
You send dashboards, we send profit. You raise bids, we raise contribution margin. You send reports, we send results. You charge a % of ad spend. We think that model should be illegal. It's about earning more on every dollar spent. So yeah, keep babysitting budgets. We will keep engineering prophecy, where performance meets accountability.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So let's dive into how I did that. So like I'm going to go through the actual playbook, right, that I'm using right now to dominate the market without even spending more on advertising. It is an outperforming ad, right? We've split tested it to prove it. It's the top click getter that we have. And so this ad has crushed everything else, right? From CTR to return on ad spend, it's higher than the control. It's higher than everything that we ran. And so the creative it's not fluff, right? This is why we test. And you can see that we've actually just done an amazing job on this creative. So I already shared a little about myself. Like I mentioned, today I run an AI dynamic pricing software, very similar to like Uber or Lyft or hedge funds, but we do this for Amazon brands. I'm not even cover that today, right? I'm covering just straight up value of like me being in the trenches and what I'm doing to help you guys out that are listening and joining this call. By the way, that voice in the video and my voice, I just lost it the other day. So it might be a little bit off.
Sorry, chat.
It's actually my voice in the video on one of the characters.
Sorry, chat, for
so today I'm
disturbing
going to be pulling
for
back the
a
curtain. I'm
small
going to show you
bit.
how I take
I'm not
this
too sure
very
if
complex
you hear
AI generated
us.
video ad. I'm going to break it down super simple and show you
We
how
have
it's
technical
outperforming
difficulties
and
right now.
how you can build it as well. So you're going to be walking away with a whole lot of free stuff today. How we spy on competitor ads, how we come up with the hook, how we split test, how we inject edits to polish it off, and then the final result. Now, one thing I want to cover before we get started is that this year, content creation didn't just go up a little bit, right? It went up 10x. Why? Because everything is on ChatGPT. It turned words into water, meaning content used to cost a lot of money and now it's pennies. Now, content is free. And so it made it effort. It made it. Now, here's the problem with this, though, is that consumption didn't change. And your customer's brain didn't wasn't able to actually consume 10 times more. It's not 10 times bigger. And so they can't absorb the 10 times content. So what does that mean? That means that there's going to be a lot of spam, right? It's a fire hose. If you look on LinkedIn, a year ago or a year and a half ago, 1% created, 99% consumed. Today, 99% of people are cranking out posts as if they're experts. And when everyone is creating, everyone else is also ignoring at the same time. So the problem is that originality is kind of dead when it comes to content. And when content is free and the internet is drowning in sameness, everything looks the same. So we need to break the pattern, right? We're going to talk about that. The winners are the ones that are going to be breaking the pattern here. And attention is the most expensive currency that we have. So in this new AI saturated world, you're not just competing against competition, you're competing against everyone else with an internet connection and that has a ChatGPT. And I would say people are tired of predictable content, the same hooks, the same templates, the same top 5 tips, garbage that you see all over the internet. And the reason why I'm focusing on video is that video is number one, and we'll talk about this a little more, done right, it punches through this. It steals the attention, it interrupts, it makes you stop. So I'm noticing this text content fatigue. I'm feeling the fatigue as well. And if you don't stop people in the first seconds, you lose. So if you want attention, we need to interrupt. You're not just going to be participating in this process. Now, if anyone can pop out blogs, LinkedIn essays, captions, it's overrun and everyone's going to scroll past it. There's no moat, which is why video, which is to me the last unfakeable moat right now, is the hardest. It's the hardest medium to fake well, and that's why it works. It takes skill, it takes emotion, it's shareable, it scales because it's hard. So let's break down this whole workflow for you. So I think a lot of people on the internet think that video is just you hit the record button, post it, you're done. And that is why videos flop, right? So the video workflow I'm sharing today, it's a machine. And once you run it, you can pump out content that hits super hard, it can convert super fast, and it scales without burning out. So step one that we're going to get into right now is we're going to Facebook espionage, essentially spying on ads in your market or outside your market so you can see where money is in play and where the dollars are flowing. So what we do is we're hunting for hooks. We're looking for offers. We're reverse engineering creatives that are making the money. Well, the first thing is that on the internet, there is no secrets. If someone is winning, you can actually see how they're doing it. So we're not reinventing the wheel here, right? We're finding the wheel, we're finding that blueprint, and we're essentially bolting onto it. That's why we start with Facebook espionage. Before you spend a single dollar, you already know what's working and what doesn't and how to beat it. So what we do is, number one, we go into Facebook library. We're looking for ads that have been running for a really long time. And we're looking at their structure. We're looking at their hooks. We're looking at the offer. And you're translating it for your own brand. So you're not copying, right? You're just distilling the essence to make it your own. I would say some of the best marketers that I know, they don't guess, they're spying. So we use the Facebook ad library, which is everyone's ads are published with Facebook transparency in those ads. And you can see those ads and you can see what's running the most. You can find the rhythm. The next is figure out what would make you stop scrolling with your thumb. So every time you see a killer ad, you want to click it, you want to watch it. There's the 3 dots that tell Facebook this ad is relevant to me. Let Facebook know that. So congratulations, you're now training the algorithm to feed you winners on autopilot. And your feed will turn into a masterclass on ads. And the next level piece of this is to actually click through it, opt in, buy it. Because then now you're inside their funnel and you see every upsell, every retargeting ad, every email in their sequence. It's pretty much paid market research. Now, I compile all these creatives into a spreadsheet. Curating is very important. So when you start collecting what's proven, you're collapsing time. And so you don't really need to start from zero. So if you scan this QR code right here, you can get our entire ad swipe file here, making sure that you have the right template and the right framework, and it's yours. You're not just creating hooks out of thin air. You're looking outside the industry. You're scanning for hooks, for angles. And again, you're training the algorithm. Now, if all you do is copy, you're always going to be one step behind. So what you want to do is the next step, which is building your own character, which is what I did with the video that we started with. Your own avatar, your own character. So the best hooks come from knowing your buyer and why they buy. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the character avatar. So you need to understand who they are, who your customers, what blocks them, what makes them snap, what's tickling the emotional underbelly of your customer, tapping into their human desires or their demons. This is very, very important, right? People just don't buy products, they buy stories about themselves. And so you need to understand their flaws and their desires. And once you've studied that, now we can start with creating a villain, right? The protagonist, so to speak. Now, this is where the character creation comes in. You need someone that your audience will follow, will watch, and stop the scroll, which is why I use that character that I chose. And that the character sometimes can be more influential than the copy itself. And you can see that this character sort of embodies what I believe embodies a lot of agencies that you see on Amazon. They're disconnected from reality. They're disconnected from your profit because their incentives are aligned with taking a percentage of ad spend, which I talked to in the video about, which is legalized theft. They focus on revenue metrics. They don't even pull your COGS. These are all things throwing random keywords and praying that they convert. Shuffling spend and babysitting it with one VA juggling everything. So we take all of this And then we embodied that into the villain, this bloated PPC manager that's overweight and that's smug, and we exaggerate him because it needs to be obvious that this person is doing that, is essentially stealing from you, which is the exact opposite of what prophecy does. So we essentially use this prompt here that I'm sharing with everybody here. And this is exactly what I used in ChatGPT to make this design. So now after we have the protagonist, now we essentially need, every villain is going to get a hero. So we need to essentially create somebody that is the opposite, that's lean, that's precise, that's data-driven. It's not going to waste your money, right? That is prophecy, and that's the hero, the contrast to reveal the value. And the things that we're focusing on to contrast this villain is the fact, number one, is we're a flat rate, right? We're not a percentage of spend. We're not operating in a silo. We're not just focusing and shuffling around spend. So we're putting pricing and ads together. And we don't give you a babysitter that just babysits budget and shuffles it around. We're giving you a data science team. And we're giving you quants. And we're giving you data that you've never seen before. So this hero comes in as the antidote, where it's charging the flat fee, where it's protecting your margin, and it's inverting the opposite of the poison. We're reversing it. So we do this. So essentially you can see we're essentially creating this character that's confident, that's the exact opposite of what you've seen. And so initially we came up with this guy in a suit, right? And you'll see over time, we actually came up with this guy, which is more of a startup vibe, very sleek, like a data scientist. And then you can compare and contrast the two of them. Now, then we write the script. So we're hunting for hooks. We're dissecting offers and we're reverse engineering those. Now, other people have spent $1 million figuring out what works. So we're essentially taking their playbook and making it better. We're not starting from scratch, right? That's for amateurs. We're working on winners that scale from there. For every lie that happens, or for everything that we don't like about the competitor or the agency, or we're tired of spending a percentage of ad spend that doesn't incentivize my own profit on the bottom line, we're essentially reversing that conversational tone into our own. The hook that I use, which is babysitting your budget. You're not paying for ads. You're paying for a grown man to babysit your budget. I literally got this from studying the best ads. What hooks, what holds your attention, what sells. The greatest hits from other ads we've trained a ChatGPT feed on. And so we came up with this excuse, cure transcript. And you can essentially do this in ChatGPT, like I mentioned. You can essentially pull this up in ChatGPT to come up with the transcript for you, for both of your characters to have them talk to each other. So now the question is automation. How did we do it, right? Building this ad factory. So essentially right now, and it's going to get way better, right? We're in the dumb period of AI, but you can only do 8-second avatars. And so we upload the avatar and we dropped in the script, and then we use voiceover technique, which I'll show you in a second. But what used to take months to do now takes seconds to do. So what we do is I use a software called HeyGen. And like I mentioned, I used one voiceover to clone my voice, but there's also stock voices that are there. But to go from a static image to a video, it literally takes 2 seconds. So what you do is you drop in your avatar. You drop in the script that you created into HeyGen. I think it's like $10 a month or $20 a month. You select the voice that you want. Of course, you can create your own. They have an integration with the voice company. I think it's 11 Labs to create the voices for you. And you can even put in other gestures that you want. So this is exactly what I did. So I dropped into HeyGen. I dropped in the script. I auto-clipped it into chunks. And then I used CapCut to put it all together. But if you don't have the patience to use CapCut, you can just hire a video editor to do it. So what we did was we took a talking head, we auto clipped it, we edited it, we used HeyGen and 11 Labs. For the transcript down below it, you can use CapCut as well. I used also Opus Clip to break down the transcript and to put it into text down below. And then we use CapCut Pro, but you can use your assortment of these. You can use all of these. You don't have to use Opus. You don't have to use CapCut. Now, if they don't bite in the 8 seconds when you're testing this, you're testing different faces. You're using the same script, just different characters. Some flop, some win. And that's just what advertising is, right? You're testing stuff. And so if you look here, the variation matters. And so we tested a woman, right? We tested a woman that was better looking, less working. We tested this guy down below here, different versions of him. We tested the woman, like I mentioned, different variations of her. And it's just weird. The more weird you make it, the more memorable it is. And so we've tested all different types of ads here. You can see this guy, dozens of variations. And I think what's interesting is that like a lot of agencies love polished animations, but I think people want raw, people want ugly in their feed, authentic. All these features will crush polished ads all the time. So you're not paying for pretty, right? You're paying for profit for your own brand. And so you can see I've used different variations and all of these have crushed in their own way. But the one that you saw when I first started this conversation was the best performing ad that we generated. Now, this is a prompt to change the visual that you're using. This was a prompt that we used to like create a very upfront in your face version of him, looking obnoxiously close to his face in a funny way, looking down at the viewer with big eyes, right? It's just like trying different variations. Here's another one, right? I took that same character and I used a different prompt using Up. If you've ever seen the Disney movie, it kind of has that flow. And so you can see here, we're using this kind of avatar, which is way more polished. And we're testing this as well with variations. I even actually tested like this baby, right? Cute agency animation versus our raw character clip. And people really wanted these characters. So for me, I never get religious about avatars. I never fall in love with creative. To me, I'm falling in love with the data because the first 8 seconds is what matters the most when you're creating creatives. And so, yeah, what you want to do is you want to track the winners. You want to turn it into money machines. And so if it dies, if it doesn't work, you need to kill it really fast. So you need to scale the survivors. And here's a QR code you can use to really measure the performance for yourself. So if you scan this QR code, you'll get the framework, you'll get the spreadsheet, you'll get everything you need to track the performance of the ad. So let's recap, right? I taught you guys, you learned how to steal competitor angles, how to build hooks, how to throw in captions to double engagement, and how you can start building these videos to be agencies. I've given you all the frameworks to do that. I gave you all the QR codes for free to spy, to test, and to scale, and to profit. Now, if you want the slides of everything that we've done, all the pure value to just download the exact workflow, if you click this QR code at the end here, you're gonna get the full deck. You're gonna get every AI prompt that I used. And so here's a QR code for your use. And that's everything for today.
Thank you very much, Chad. Very interesting presentation. We have a few questions for you about the topic. We hope you are able to answer. We lost Chad for a second, but let's hope he will be back to answer some questions. But before, let's introduce the VIP package that is available for all SellerFest Online participants. We put together the special package of 20 advanced expert sessions, which we ask experts to record just for you, so you will not find them anywhere else. They're just available with the package, and you're going to have a lifetime access to all of the different strategies and tips they shared. And in addition to the sessions, we also included 2 great bonuses to make it even more valuable for you. The first bonus is recordings from European Select Conference 2024. So you're going to have access to all of the speaker presentations from the top Amazon experts of the world. And the second bonus material comes from Brandon Young. It's an exclusive masterclass about product discovery, validation, and AI design. This masterclass has about 30 different lessons inside, and usually it's valued for $500. And Brandon decided to also put it into the VIP package because all the experts participating in our event are really into educating the Amazon sellers community and want to make sure you are doing better than your competitors are. And now I think we have Chad back also in our conversation, so we can take the first question for you. So the first question would be, do you think AI avatars are already influencing Amazon shoppers' trust towards the brand and the products if we think about the Amazon marketplace?
I think people, I think it's the people, right? People don't follow brands, they follow people. And so they're following like who's tapping into the emotions. And the way to do that is to convey that through video. So you can do that with AI videos, you can do that with characters, or you can do that with human AI videos. They can do with Google VO3, like the video, everything is really getting better and better and better. I think, like I said earlier, we are in the dumbest part of AI, right? We're in the early innings of what I think is a massive, massive revolution. And so things are going to get better over time. But yeah, I think people buy from humans and buy from people.
Very good. Then another question would be, what's like one simple way how sellers could make their brand feel more human than AI?
Well, I think it comes into tapping into the desires, tapping into the emotional trauma of your customer, like understanding why they buy and how to push the buttons of why they buy. So I think instead of just like listing out features or specs, right, you should be listing out capabilities and how that will change the customer's life. And how, like, for example, if I'm selling filters, instead of listing out the filtration media of whatever I'm selling, I always ask why. Like, why do people care about filtration media? Well, maybe it's because they want their home to smell good when they have guests over. So this is what we're trying to tap into and push their buttons to get them to buy their secret desires.
Okay, very good. And we're very grateful again that you took the time to join us today for this session. Chad, before we go and end it, I would like to once more ask you to shortly summarize what you're currently focusing on and how do you work together with Amazon sellers?
Yeah, so we've been building Prophecy. That's PROFASEE. It's an AI pricing platform for brands that sell on Amazon. So we don't compete for the buy box, right? There's tons of other repricers out there that compete for the buy box. We compete on the search engine ranking page. Brands are leaving tons of money on the table. Some of them never change price. Some of them don't know why they're making the price change that they're making. And so we dynamically change price within the boundaries of the customer, right? Their floor and ceiling price, to help make them more money. And on average, we see a 10% profit lift when they use Prophecy, which is massive, right? Imagine making 10% more profit in your pocket. That is what we do at Prophecy. We'd love to give you a tour. So when you go to our website, just book a demo and we'll have our tour together.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I hope I can welcome you again on our channel very soon. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for your time.
And now I would like to invite you to watch another video on our Orange Click YouTube channel where you will learn how to build AI agents for Amazon sellers.